My name's Corey Stadjwar, and I'm a singer-songwriter, recording artist, and a music producer. I've released 12 albums of original music, and I also teach music and voice. In addition to that, I'm a linguist. I speak 6 languages, and I've worked as a professional interpreter in English and Spanish for 30 years. Music and languages have so much in common. In fact, music is a language. So that's one of the reasons why I've always been drawn to both of these fields. Let's jump right into learning how to sing. So first of all, let me just say that you probably already know how to sing. Children learn how to sing just by listening and imitating. In fact, when my nephew Jack Cosser was just a toddler, he would sing and he had a beautiful voice and he just imitated and automatically knew what to do with his voice.
Hot cross bun, went a penny to a penny, hot cross bun.
However, as we grow up, we listen to the way other people sing and we realize, oh, I want to sing like this, I want to sing like that, I want to belt, I want to sing with power, I want to do this run. And we realize that there's a lot of other things that we want to do. We want to sing with a specific style, we want to sing with a specific range, we want to sing with a specific tone. And then, of course, all of these different things happen. Our voice changes, of course, too, from when we're a child. So the most important thing that I want to discuss right now is the fact that we already use our voice all the time. And we do a lot of different things with our voice. Sometimes we go, we're low. Sometimes we're like, hey! We kind of yell, hey! Sometimes we're like, ah, 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 ah. So when we try to improve our singing abilities, what we need to do is always go back to what do we do naturally with our voice. And there are also things that we need to do that might not be so natural, but we can still incorporate the natural parts of our voice into our singing. So when we sing, we inhale air, our lungs fill with air, and then when we exhale, the air goes through our vocal cords or our vocal folds. So if I do this, I don't produce any sound because my vocal cords aren't coming together. But if I do this, I'm producing sound because my vocal cords are vibrating. So when we speak, our vocal cords continually vibrate to make the sound. And then we use resonance in order to amplify the sound. Humming is one of the best ways to start out singing. So we're just going to hum. Let's do it higher. Let's go higher. If I hum this note, I'm singing what is called an E. And the reason it's an E is because notes have different frequencies and they have intervals, they have distances between the notes. And so we have picked a standard of where to start. This is an A in standard tuning and its frequency is 440 Hertz. If I play an A an octave above that, the frequency is doubled, so it's 880 Hertz. When we refer to notes, we're actually talking about frequencies and the distance between specific frequencies. So in Western music, notes that are immediately adjacent to one another or consecutive to one another have a semitone or a half step as the distance or interval that is between them. For example, etc. And when we sing or write music, we're singing different frequencies which have different distances between them, different intervals. Now the major scale is the most important scale that you need to know. And you probably have already heard it. It's the Do, Re, Mi scale. So sing it with me. Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. The most important thing that you can do to protect your voice is to hydrate, don't push too hard, rest your voice, and also avoid cigarettes and alcohol. Now, when you sing your lowest notes, you have more resonance or vibration in the lower parts of your body, and your vocal cords are their thickest. Now, when this happens, we refer to this as chest voice. When you sing your highest notes, your vocal cords are thinner and you feel the resonance or the vibration in a higher placement, in higher areas. So let's discover this. So for men, let's hum these notes. I can feel the vibration in my mouth and in my throat. And if you're a female, let's do this. And what we can do is we can also change it by adding words. Let's say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So for men, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if you're a female, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, everyone's voice is different, and especially if you're a female, your voice is going to sound different in this range than mine because I'm a male. Now let's discover our head voice by singing higher notes. And we're going to use the oo vowel because that is more conducive to the head voice. Sometimes men have a hard time finding their head voice. So what I recommend is not to try to sing, but just try to make a sound. Imagine people are at a football game or some type of game and they're cheering and they go, woo! That's my head voice. Woo! I felt it rise up into higher spaces, whereas if I said, I feel it more here in my throat and in my mouth and my lips. Whereas if I go, woo, woo, I feel it rising into higher spaces. So let's do this. We're going to sing this now. But just start by going, woo, woo. And then, woo. Try to sustain it. Woo, woo, woo. Let's go even higher. Woo. Here's another head voice note. A lot of people, when they talk about someone's range, will use terms such as C2 or C5. And what that means is, it's the C note on the piano, but it's the second C. For example, C2 would be the second C on the piano. C5 would be the fifth C on the piano. So on a piano that has 88 keys, the very first note, or the lowest note, is an A, and that's called an A0. Then you have a B flat, 0, and a B, 0, because we want to start with a C. So the very first C is called a C1. An octave above that is a C2. An octave above that is a C3. An octave above that is a C4. And C4 is middle C. So if I sing, I'm singing middle C. And if I sing an octave above that, I'm singing a C5. That's a C6. That is the female high C. So an octave below middle C is C3. Ooh. So the notes within this octave are also going to be 3. So D3, E3, F3, G3, A3, B3, and then it changes back to the C4. So if your lowest note is a C3, and your highest note is a C5, then you have a 2-octave range because 5 minus 3 is 2. So C3 to C4 is not 2 octaves, it's 1 octave. So if I start at an E3 and sing a major scale going down, E, that lowest note is an E2. E, E, and if I continue up, that's another octave, that's 2 octaves. And if I continue to E5, that's a total of 3 octaves. If you want to be a good singer, you have to sing with relatively good pitch or great pitch. A lot of things can affect your pitch when you sing, including your perception, how loudly you're singing, how softly you're singing, the vowel that you sing, how much vocal weight or thickness you have on your vocal folds, your placement, and many other things. So I recommend that you designate specific time in order to practice and discover pitch. You can use a piano, keyboard, guitar, a tuner, or programs, different software, in order to verify your pitch. And what I like to do is I like to listen to a note, try to imitate that note, sing the note on the same frequency, and I like to sing different vowels to see how that affects my pitch, and also loudness. I try to vary many different things, and that way I can see how it affects my pitch. Let's use this software program called Sing and See that allows you to see your pitch. And this is great because you're able to sing a note, you can also play the note, and then hear the note, and then try to duplicate that, reproduce the exact same frequency. And what it allows you to do is you can see how different volumes and different vowels affect your pitch. Let me show you. So let's check our pitch. Here at the top you can see the notes of the piano, and then you can also see down here the corresponding lanes where you want to be able to sing inside that lane if you're going to be singing the proper pitch. For example, if you're going to sing this G3, here, this black line right here, and the bottom line is the top and bottom of the pitch, and you want to be able to sing that note inside that lane. The red is the center of the pitch, so if you're able to go through that red line, that would be the center of the pitch. So let me play it, and then listen. Let me press enter. I can also try to approach the note from the top. Now let's try to sing the note sharp. So if you notice, I start by touching the red line, but then I go up sharp, and I never touch the red line again. I stay above it, which means it's sharp the whole time. Another thing that I like to do is play a note and then try to sing a scale and see if I'm able to sing the correct intervals. So I'm going to push record, and F3, and I'm going to sing a pentatonic scale. Yeah, 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 yeah. Slightly sharp at the end. It's also important that you try different volumes, registers, and vowels. For example, let's do this A4, which is 440 frequency, and we're going to sing it head voice. Now this is a good example where I approached the note slightly from the top. I didn't slide up to it, but sometimes I like to slide to notes. But this one I wanted to try to be as accurate as I could. Now let's see what happens pitch-wise when we sing actual words. So let's apply this to a song. This is an original song that I wrote called Keep Your Eyes Ahead, and it's in the key of G. Some days can be harder than the rest, and everything feels so hard to do. Okay, so pretty much on pitch. So let's take a look at what happened. So right here we start with on a D, and I'm singing slightly above the red line. That's actually good because I used to sing that flat, and I trained myself to try to release that note. So the G, I go right almost to the red line and it vibratos, and then it goes up to the A, slightly flat. Then you go up to the B, I'm through the red line. Again, the key is to look and see if your note is within the track, within the lane. And all of these notes are in the lane. So that's a D, that's a G, that's an A. I go to the B, that's a B. If it were way on the bottom or way on the top, it would be pitchy. Right here we have an F sharp. The top of that, I'm right there on the red line. It goes down to the E, and then it goes to above and below this red line, which is, you could call it vibrato. There's an oscillation. And then I go up to the B. Here's the B. I barely touched that red line. Here I'm through the red line. So remember, what you're looking for is to be pretty much inside of the lane that you want to be in. So let's listen again.
Some days can be harder than the rest, and everything feels so hard to do.
Now remember, you're never going to sing perfectly like a robot. As a matter of fact, you wouldn't want that. So sometimes we actually want to sing flat for stylization. We might want to slide, bend the note, sing a blues note. But you don't want to sing like that always. But you want, in general, to be hitting your target notes. Sometimes you might stylize notes, but in general, you want to hit your target note and be within that lane. So let's continue.
And no one seems to have the time of day. The friends you have are few.
So doing this really helps your pitch perception because you're able to hear what you did and see visually whether you're singing on pitch or not. And a lot of times I will listen to it and not look and think, okay, good, good, good. And then I'll hear something that sounds flat and I'll look to see and, oh, I was right, it was flat. Or I might think, ooh, that's pitchy, and I look and I see, I'm able to see why it sounded pitchy. Oh, was it sharp or was it flat? And this helps you to train your ear. So if we look, again, I'm singing on pitch, on the red line, pretty much throughout. Let's see, right here I'm slightly sharp. Right here I'm getting up to the line. And then when I went to the highest note, I wanted to make sure that I hit that note and I was within my lane.
But don't judge your future by your past. The storms that rage won't last. You can do anything when you're feeling low, when the world's pressing down on your shoulders. You know you can go on. So remember how far you've come and keep your eyes ahead. Remember how far you've come and keep your eyes ahead. Remember how far you've come and keep your eyes ahead.
You can also sing slower and try to make sure that you're able to sing the right pitch. So, for example,
remember how far you've come and keep your eyes ahead.
there are so many elements to singing, and we've only scratched the surface in this video. However, hopefully I've given you a few different tools and different ideas and concepts that you can use to start singing and developing your voice. I plan on making a lot more videos where I take different elements of singing and I apply those techniques to actual songs. So make sure that you subscribe and share. And as you develop one aspect of your voice or your knowledge, then it starts applying to other things and you start growing and growing more. Think of all of this as developing your voice. It's like conditioning your voice or building a home. You have to have a foundation and then you build from that. Think of this as a journey and never give up. There's going to be ups and downs, but if you never give up and you keep your eyes ahead, then you will reach that goal.
You can do anything when you're feeling low and the world's pressing down on your shoulders. And you think you can't go on. Just remember how far you've come and keep your eyes ahead.